Due to the abundance of money that NBA teams have at their disposal because of the raised salary cap, there have been some god awful contracts given out over the last few years. So, I'm here today to tell you the worst contract at every position. Hey guys, I'm Polish Boy, and let's get into this video. So, let's start at the point guard position. The worst contract at the point guard position is Brandon Knight. He has 3 years, $44 million left on his contract. One of the main issues with Brandon Knight is that he's kind of like a combo guard, but can't really pass the ball well. He can't really shoot the ball well, has only shot 39%, so it's really hard to define him as a player. Phoenix wanted to get rid of him at the deadline last year, yet they were unable to do so because there were no takers, and Brandon Knight only played 54 games last year, and despite being paid like a starter, he only started 5 of those. He also had the second worst plus or minus in the entire league last year, so I would say his contract is pretty bad. Now, moving on to shooting guard. The worst shooting guard contract is clearly Tim Hardaway Jr. He has 4 years, $71 million left on his contract. That I don't know what the Knicks were thinking. Just think, 17% of their entire cap space is going to pay Tim Hardaway Jr. So I understand the concept of you having to play a restricted free agent a bit more, right? But Atlanta was rumored not to want, they didn't want to pay more than $48 million. So why did New York have to hand over an extra $23 million to Tim Hardaway Jr.? Let's take a look at the market this year in the offseason. Tony Snell, Andre Roberson, players about the same quality as Tim Hardaway Jr. not being paid nearly as much. So Tim Hardaway Jr. definitely should not have such a big contract. Moving on to small forward, Chandler Parsons. He's got 3 years, $72 million left on his deal, and it really limits what the Memphis Grizzlies can do moving forward. Last year, he averaged 6 points, 3 boards, 2 assists on an abysmal 34% shooting, but he was paid at $22 million, so I don't know about that. That is by far the worst contract. And now with Mike Conley on your team, signed to a big deal, Marc Gasol, you're hoping to keep on your team, maybe a 3rd and 4th star in Memphis would be enough to maybe push the Warriors to elimination or even beat the Warriors. But now, because of the contract of Chandler Parsons, it doesn't give you that flexibility to add those extra stars. So his contract is absolutely awful. At power forward, it's Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson has 3 years, $61 million left on his contract. And when he signed that deal last season, not many people were too fussed about it, but they didn't love the deal either. And he had a good year. He shot the ball well, but that's all that Ryan Anderson can really do. Now in today's NBA, yes, we want stretch fours, but you want stretch fours that can rebound, play make, dribble the ball. Ryan Anderson is really just a spot up shooter. So that's why his value in today's NBA has gone down. And another major reason why his contract is the worst at the power forward position is that he's one of the main reasons why a Melo trade to the Rockets still hasn't been done. Because in order for the contracts to balance out, Ryan Anderson has to be involved in that deal, yet no one wants him and no one wants to take that salary dump upon them. So he's kind of really forced Houston's hand and not allowing them to bring in that extra star they think they need to beat the Warriors this year. And I'll finish off at center. This one should be pretty obvious, and it's sad that it's another New York Knick, Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah has 3 years, $56 million left on his contract, and he's turned into a shell of a player than what he was a few years back when he was an all-star, defensive player of the year, all of this. He's now become injury riddled as he only played 46 games last year. He averaged only 5 points and 9 rebounds. And because of next year, because of his PED use, he's forced to be suspended for the first 25 games. And his injuries aren't helping him much either. And since he has 3 years left on his deal, he's not going to be able to help the Knicks much or at all over the next few years. And no one's going to want to take that deal. So it really doesn't allow the New York Knicks to bring in any young free agents to help build around Kristaps Porzingis. So they're forced into the situation now, especially with Tim Hardaway Jr., 4 years left, Joakim Noah, 3 years. Whatever they have on their roster right now, their youth talent, their personnel, that's basically all they'll have. So is that really enough with Kristaps Porzingis to even make the playoffs? I don't think so. So it really hinders what they're able to do as an organization. Alright guys, those were the worst contracts at every position in the NBA. Do you think there are worse contracts out there? Let me know in the comments section down below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and see you guys again later.